Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name is Jack, and today is Sunday's Top 10 LEGO MOCs of the Week. This is basically where I get to talk about some of the coolest stuff people were building throughout the week. And remember to check out the end of the episode. That is where the fan submissions are flying by. If you want to submit your own custom creation to be in the episode, check the link in the video description below for the email that you should be sending the pictures to. Anyways, let's jump right into it. This is such a cool build. This is the Klingon Bird of Prey by Kevin J. Walter. Apparently the builder had started this project back in 2010, and it existed just in a digital file, but slowly and surely all of the real LEGO parts were acquired. And I mean, you do not have to be a Star Trek fan to appreciate something like this. The body of the ship is as hyper-realistic to the original model of the Bird of Prey, I think, as it can get. This is both in terms of dimensions and the external panel detailing on the outside of the ship. What's lovely about the build is not only is it extremely accurate, but there's a lot of clever and unique build designs to help achieve this goal. I especially like the tires that are on the front guns there. And I don't know, there's just so much good, awesome building to appreciate. And sort of sticking with the idea of a MOC that took a very long time to create, or something like that, this is the Epilogue Flashmans Papers by Workshysteve. Now, I don't know if this took 5 years to create, but in the description on the Flickr, our builder does point out that there are 25 mementos, somewhat, or 25 pieces that are left over from previous vignette MOCs. This guy is a master vignette MOC builder, but perhaps I don't have to tell you that. You can just take a look around the study and you can see sort of the history and artifacts of a long and very adventurous life well lived by our protagonist, the Flashman, or just Flashman. Anyways, aside from the fact that there's just a bunch of great little artifacts to discover as you look around the room, there really is quite a lot of nice bit of building technique, especially the inlaid wooden floor. I think those are a lot of tile pieces as well as cheese wedge pieces that are laid in on their side to make the nice sort of, I'm gonna say, hardwood floor design. I like the setup of the wooden bookshelf in the back, and even the desk is nice. I think those are actually briefcase pieces that are pushed in to look like handles for the drawers. Undoubtedly, there's a lot of other very nice, clever building, but needless to say, vignettes really don't get much better than this in LEGO. Now, since this episode has come out, it is still currently less than 2 weeks since the premiere of Star Wars Rogue One, but it almost feels like it's long overdue to have a custom build for the AT-ACT. These were actually supposed to be bigger than regular combat AT-ATs because they were designed for storage, cargo transport. So here the legs are quite a bit longer, I think, in proportion to what you're used to seeing from an AT-AT. But it is a wonderful build. I like the orange pieces used to create the that's the movable storage compartment within the AT-ACT. And what's great also is that the MOC is not just the vehicle, but comes with a custom Scarif stand, accompanied by not only regular stormtroopers, but we also have some of those death troopers. I feel like a couple of shore troopers could have fit in as well. If you read the description on the Flickr from the builder Forgotten Days, this is going to be the last MOC for a while. They're not going to be building as much LEGO, which is sad, but I'm definitely following this guy to see what comes out next in the future, whenever that may be. Also, if I didn't mention before, then I'll say now, all of the links to all of these builds are in the description below, and I highly recommend that you check out the Flickr accounts of the original builders. Chances are, if you like something that someone built here, you're probably going to be equally as wowed by some of the other creations that they're also making. Check out what these guys are doing. Now let's move on, and this is a somewhat simple build, I guess. It's a hyper-accurate version of a Rubik's Cube, and I just really appreciate the symmetry and the nice vibrant colors and, well, wait a second. What's it doing here? Huh? What? Oh yes, that is correct. This isn't just a Rubik's Cube, this is called Rubicon Transform by Joe Perez. Not only does it perfectly trick you into thinking that it's possibly just a regular Rubik's Cube when it's folded up, not even a LEGO Rubik's Cube, but it has the complete ability to transform itself into a kind of friendly looking robot. So not only is this build a very original idea, but it's also an incredibly technically difficult one to achieve. So double awesome points for this build, I guess. I don't know what to say. Anyways, let's move on to the next build. This is called Shortcut by Mike M. Now, I wouldn't quite say that this is a vignette. It doesn't quite fit the spectrum for that, but it certainly is a scene, and a highly developed one, almost perfectly set up just to take this picture right here. This is a pretty dirty and cluttered alleyway. You can see there's a ton of signs sticking out. Everything's kind of crooked. There's trash on the ground. The sidewalk is uneven and kind of broken away in some places. I really like those details, and there's a few other pictures which look awesome. I'm not sure if this is the same alleyway or if it was changed up a little bit or maybe coming at it from the other side. I'm not sure, but it looks great with the nighttime detailing. There's light coming out from within maybe a restaurant or a convenience store. You don't really know. And I think we had such a nice alleyway that Mike M could not help himself, and he made another one called Spidey vs. Hobgoblin. Awesome smoke effects that are used in the back by the Hobgoblin. And you can see that Spidey is not quite having his best day in crime fighting. But we are moving down the line, and here is a Delorean time machine custom mock. Can't pronounce the name of the builder here, and we've seen a ton of custom DeLoreans in the past, but for some reason this build just stuck out really well. I thought it was scaled very nicely. This is something that could fit into a Lego city very easily, and just the particular build style and the charm to this set makes me like it more than what actually came out for the Lego Ideas one. There are several different pictures and angles of this set. The doors, of course, open up. It only seats one minifig, but I think in order to have it scale down so well, that was totally necessary. And you can also tell from the back that this is the DeLorean from the sequel movies, because it has that, I don't know, the trash reactor. I don't know what you call it. But anyways, let's move on down the list. This is a build by Mitsuru Nikaido, which we've showed before with the MECH sunfish, and this is another MECH animal. What's so interesting is that I just like the build style so much, and I don't really see it so much as a robot, even though I believe that's how the build is supposed to be interpreted. I mean, looking down, there are maybe a few telling details that might give away a bit of roboticness to it. But what's so nice about these builds, like the last one, are that we've got a great combination of larger Technic pieces, this one a lot more than the last actually, and it's being mixed up a bit with some of the brick system pieces. Here, the curves and feathers of the red-crowned crane, well, this is called MECH red-crowned crane, by the way, but the curved pieces that make up the feathers are shown off very well with the Technic pieces, and I think there's just a very nice sort of elegance to this animal. Also, check out the flicker for a great looking grasshopper, and we're moving on. Now, there's a lot of great builds that come from J. Snyder 002, but this most recent one, the Deshim Warriors, was just something I had to post. It's just a fun little scene with some warriors walking through what is probably the desert, and instead of a pack mule carrying the supplies, we've got a tiny little mountain goat, and of course our warrior is riding his steed, which is an ostrich. Just a fun combination of items here. And this is Octan Hovertank by Frost. It's sort of a build that shows a sort of stereotypical natural progression of what the futuristic Octan tank is going to be, or the tanker truck. And generally speaking, I just think there's a lot of nice details to appreciate. I like the sort of more narrow windshield piece used around the cockpit, which is a bit more bulky in the front. And then the whole back build with the 4 little thrusters is nice. It's kind of like sort of a classic sort of cartoony sci-fi vibe, which ultimately I believe is very fitting for the whole Octan look. Fun little build. And this last one is pretty awesome, actually. It is the Batman Thrasher suit, a series of a bunch of different big mech suits, but Batman is my favorite, and I honestly thought this one was the best. I really like that red fist. Great looking head for the suit, and the cockpit actually opens up in the back. You have to sort of flip the cape around. Great build for the utility belt. Honestly, it's just so cool. We did get some sort of dinky Batman mech suit in a set a long time ago, but it is nothing compared to something like this. Anyways, that is it for my top 10 list. Let's check out the fan mocks of the week.